I'm on my way to British Columbia to participate in a historic moment in aviation history. Join me as I travel by ferry from Port Angeles to Victoria and then make my way north to the British Columbia Air Museum. We're here to witness a historic moment in aviation history. This is Nick Goes Far. I'm Nick, and I'm glad you're here. Gonna get some coffee to go on the road. So I've got a long drive ahead of me. And this isn't just a long drive. By the time I'm done, I'll have made 3 ferry crossings, spent 1 night in a hotel in Victoria, crossed the US-Canada border twice, and covered nearly 1,000 miles, all in the span of about 36 hours. Just on the other side of Moses Lake right now, so about halfway, almost halfway across the state of Washington, on my way to Port Angeles, and where I'm going to be picking up the ferry up to Victoria Island. Drive's been going good. It's still, as you can tell behind me, pitch black out, so the sun still hasn't popped up over the sky yet. Current ETA into Port Angeles is about 8:30, maybe 9 a.m., and that's to the ferry terminal, and then the ferry is about an hour and a half ride from Port Angeles to Victoria Island. So it's going well. I'm highly caffeinated and I'm getting fuel for the car, so yeah, good. So far so good. And with a full tank of gas and a fresh cup of coffee, I set back out on the interstate. The sun was rising as I drove through the Cascade Mountains, and I was reminded why I just absolutely love being able to do anything in the Pacific Northwest. It really is one of the most beautiful parts of America, and I love spending time up here. You might be wondering what I'm doing today that was worth getting up at 2 a.m., driving 6.5 hours across the state of Washington, dropping the car off at a ferry terminal, and now I'm killing time in Port Angeles. I'm heading over to Canada for a very specific reason, and I can't wait to share that with you. This video, obviously you've seen the thumbnail, so you already know what's going on. I'm heading over to the BC Air Museum for the final flight, the retirement flight of the Mars, the Hawaii Mars. It's the last one that's still flying, and it is the last ever flight that this plane is going to make. While I explore downtown Port Angeles for a little bit, here's a quick video that tells you more about the Hawaii Mars.
Let's dive into the awe-inspiring tale of the Hawaii Mars. Originally built during World War II, the Hawaii Mars was a true giant of the skies. With a wingspan of 200 feet and the ability to carry 72 passengers, it transformed from a military transport to a firefighting marvel. This beast could scoop up 7,200 gallons of water in just 25 seconds. Imagine that, 7,200 gallons ready to douse fiery infernos. Its ability to access remote water sources where other aircraft couldn't reach made it a game changer in battling wildfires. The Hawaii Mars wasn't just a plane, it was a lifeline, protecting forests and communities. A true legend, forever etched in the annals of aviation history.
I get to spend a little bit of time here in Port Angeles, right on the shore, and that's because getting to Victoria in Canada, in British Columbia, is not an easy challenge, or it's not an easy task to complete. You're catching a ferry one way or the other, either from here, or from Seattle, or from Vancouver, or you're taking a float plane in, or you're flying into the Victoria International Airport, which was like $800 for a flight in today. So I'm gonna catch a ferry. All-in cost on the ferry was about $55 for the car, and I think I'm like $17 on top of that. So it's not exactly expensive, but it is something to keep in mind, and you're paying that twice. It's a round trip ticket that you have to book. So the thing that you need to know about coming on the Blackball ferry out of Port Angeles up to Victoria is that car reservations, those sell out pretty quickly. They do reserve like 10 or 15 car spaces as a first come first serve sort of basis. So last night when I booked my ticket, I couldn't book one for the car, just for myself. So I came extra early so that I could get in the very front of the line, so I could get my car on the ferry and take that with me over to Victoria over in British Columbia. The problem I face, or may face, is that there's no availability on tomorrow's ferry for a car to come back. And so it's a similar thing. First come, first serve. So I'm gonna be here 2-3 hours before the sailing time so that I can actually get my car onto the ferry. And like clockwork, the MV Coho, the ship that the Blackball Ferry Line uses, showed up right on time for us to be able to get to Victoria. Alright, the MV Coho has arrived, and they are unloading the people that are coming from Victoria Island now. So once they're done unloading, we're gonna get all of our cars and vans loaded up, and then it's off to British Columbia to Victoria. We got all these cars here waiting to go. About the only downside to loading with a car is like right now all of the people who walked onto the ferry, they're all already upstairs. I can see them. They've chosen their seats. They've found their spots. So we're still driving on, and it'll be interesting to see if space is at a premium when I actually get out of my car and make my way up to the passenger deck. We're going to be on this thing for an hour and a half, so hopefully I can find a good spot to go to. The Blackball Line traces their history back to 1816, practically the birth of the United States. It was a transatlantic passenger ferry service, and frankly, its history is so rich that it deserves a video of its own. So if you know somebody who works the Blackball Line, let them know that I want to come back and really showcase this awesome, awesome line. Coming around to the front of the ship, all the bike racks. Initially, I was a little surprised by how many people were biking to and from Victoria and into Port Angeles, but both towns are really bikeable, so I guess it makes sense. As for finding a seat on board the ship, there were so many places to sit and they were so comfortable, not a problem. I think we're getting ready to get underway. All right, we're pulling into Victoria now, and we've been given the go-ahead to return to our vehicles down below, so I'm gonna go get to the car, get ready to go through Canadian customs on the way into Victoria. I'm here at the airport after a brief stay with the Canadian customs guys. They did a quick look through the car, and now I'm actually at the water aerodrome, or as close as I can get, because this place is crazy busy. And so I'm parked pretty good, like a mile away. And so now I'm gonna walk to the rest of the way to get to the shore and see what's what. The Hawaii Mars did take off from the post that I saw online maybe 20-30 minutes ago, so it's flying its route along Vancouver Island right now. And it should do a pass over here in about an hour and a half with the Canadian snowbirds in tow, and then it's going to do a pass over downtown Victoria before coming back here for the landing. And of course, that's what we're all here for. And when I say that we were all here for it, I mean a lot of people. Thousands of people were here. So many of them had shown up at the very start of the day. They had chairs and tents, and they were just totally prepared. Plane spotters, local residents, airplane fans, grateful BC citizens, everyone who could be here was here, because this is such a significant event for the Hawaii Mars. Its last ever flight, its final landing. People wanted to see it. At this point, I've been up for nearly 15 hours, driven almost 500 miles, crossed the Canadian border, and I needed to get a little bit of a rest. Settling in for even just a brief pause was totally essential, because what was coming next was absolutely phenomenal. This isn't just metal and engines in the sky. It's a symbol. It's a piece of our history. This colossal flying boat has battled wildfires across Canada and has left a lasting mark on aviation. But why do we feel compelled to witness its last journey? Flying isn't just about getting from point A to point B. It's about adventure, freedom, and the human spirit's relentless pursuit of the skies. Aviation is a testament to our ingenuity and our dreams. When an aircraft like the Hawaii Mars takes its final flight, it carries with it stories of bravery and innovation. These stories resonate with us when they remind us of our own aspirations and the heights that we can reach. As the Hawaii Mars soared one final time, this isn't just a plane retiring. It's a farewell to an era, a salute to the countless lives and communities that were saved and touched. People gather along the coastline not just to see an airplane, but to be a part of something bigger. They've come to witness the culmination of years of service and to feel a connection to the past. And in the end, watching the Hawaii Mars taxi into the pier was a reminder that while machines may rest, the dreams that they inspire continue to soar. We gather to celebrate those dreams and to be inspired and remember that the sky is not the limit, it's just the beginning.